rebuild Globe, Arizona following recent flooding. If you'd like to donate to Team Rubicon efforts, visit our website to find a link. Go to donate.teamrubiconusa.org/donation/for-dealers.
Only 50% of Arizonans believe their health insurance will cover them in a major medical emergency, like a car accident or an unexpected life-changing diagnosis. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona aims to change that perception. AZ Blue often takes care of more than 99% of hospital charges in major emergencies, protecting you and your family from devastating financial consequences. To learn more about how AZ Blue protects its members, head to azblue.com/true story.
This holiday season, elevate your event at Talking Stick Resort. From breathtaking views and a world-class golf course to 113,000 square feet of flexible event space, every detail sets the stage for an unforgettable holiday party. Whether it's cocktails under the stars or a fully produced banquet with state-of-the-art AV, Talking Stick has it all. Plus a luxurious spa for next-day recovery. Secure your celebration today. Talking Stick Resort, Scottsdale's premier destination for celebration. Life well played.
If you could rewind 10 years, what would you do differently? Buy Apple stock at $20? Skip the ghost pepper challenge? Maybe even rethink the skinny jeans. Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Some regrets are harmless, termite damage isn't. You can't go back in time, but you can keep termites from eating your future. Call 602-BLUE-SKY today for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, pests.
Connect directly, bid confidently. At Purple Wave Auction, transparency is key. With no reserves and no hidden surprises, you're connected directly to sellers so you can inspect and bid on quality equipment with confidence. Whether you're looking for ag, construction, or fleet equipment, we're here to ensure a clear, hassle-free experience. Register today at purplewave.com and start bidding with peace of mind. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
Every day begins with the promise of something new, a new perspective, a fresh start. At Banner Health, right here, right now, we're pioneering new ways to treat cancer with our own immune systems. We're among the first to treat Parkinson's with a patient's own cells. And we're a world leader in artificial heart implantation, all while training over 1,300 doctors every year. Impressive, right? It's just another Banner day. Banner Health.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
Well, happy Wednesday to you. It's the Wednesday edition of the lunch break right here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you for the next 2 hours. Producer Evan is on the other side of the glass, ready to take your phone calls, 480-864-1060. Producer Evan, how are we on a Wednesday? We've made it to the middle of the week, 2 days away from Friday, Halloween, the weekend. The calendar flips to November. How are we today?
I'm good. You know, yesterday realized, oh my God, it's the 28th.
Yeah.
And that means I got to scramble, right? Going out there, scramble drill, finding a costume.
Oh, unprepared is what you're saying for Halloween.
So
you were unprepared.
I was out at Target yesterday, out at Nordstrom Rack.
You told me what you decided on. I did not realize
and
that it was
I decided I was
drill.
instructed by my girlfriend. This is what you're being.
I'm very familiar with this.
Yes. And so that was 3 weeks ago. I had all the time in the world.
I am not the biggest fan of dressing up for Halloween. And it's not because I don't like putting on a costume, but to be honest, if you're going to put together a really good costume, it just requires a lot of work, a lot of effort. You got to get the makeup and face paint. And it's just a level of creativity that I don't have, that I don't possess. My creativity is doing this on the air for 2 hours and hosting podcasts and being in radio and producing content. That is where my creative gene is the best. Doing makeup and designing a costume and picking out what I want to do, it's not my thing. Don't like it. Don't like feeling that makeup on my face. Just not a fan.
I would consider myself creative. The makeup I'm out on.
Right. And
I'm just out on that.
I think if you're gonna win the costume contest,
you gotta have makeup.
I think you gotta go
or you
above
gotta
and
be
beyond.
Funny. Like it has to.
Right. You have to be the butt of the joke all night. Like there's two buckets that it can fall into. You go all out and you just win it based on you put in the most effort and we're going to reward that, or it's, boy, that's a funny guy over there. Great costume, you're going to get my vote, even if it's not the most complex thing.
We had a family friend in like a family get together costume party, and he was Will Ferrell in Anchorman, Ron Burgundy.
Okay, and
he didn't break character.
See,
all night long,
and that's how you can bridge that gap, right? Yeah. You can win the costume contest. So unless something is going to get delivered to my house today or tomorrow, I do not believe I am dressing up this year. I don't like it, so I'm not normally included in the planning process for Halloween. I know what my daughter is going as.
What is she going to be as?
She's going as a bird from the movie Rio.
Oh, nice. That's a good. I haven't seen that movie in a while.
Last year, she went as a inflatable shark.
That's good.
So this year, we're going with the bird. We're keeping it in the animal family, I guess, for some reason.
I was a pineapple.
So that's
for a long time.
So that's what she's going as. And so we'll be trick-or-treating on Friday. But yeah, before you know it's going to be November. It's going to be Thanksgiving. We're talking about top 5 Thanksgiving side dishes here on the show sooner or later.
I'm excited for that.
It is a Wednesday. We have a Halloween-themed list for you related to movies coming up in hour number 2 of the program. But okay, the Halloween talk aside, let's hop into today's daily special. It has to do with the Cardinals and what they may or may not do over the next couple of days.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
You look at the standings, and you see a team that is 2-5. It's pretty clear and obvious, at least to me, what a team with that record should do at the NFL trade deadline. It's pretty simple, because I know what the 1-7 Saints are thinking. I know what the 2-6 Giants are thinking. I know what the 1-7 Jets are thinking. The 1-7 Titans have already made a move. These teams that find themselves right now on tankathon.com inside the top 10 of the NFL draft, they're selling or they're getting ready to sell ahead of the NFL's trade deadline. But the Cardinals at 2-5 are unlike those teams that I just mentioned, because nobody expected New Orleans to make the playoffs this year. Nobody expected the 2 New York teams to make the playoffs this year. Nobody expected Tennessee to make the playoffs this year. There was an expectation that was attached to this Cardinal season. There's a disappointment attached to them being 2-5 that muddies the waters a little bit. So will the Cardinals be sellers at the NFL trade deadline? November 4th, I believe, is the trade deadline. Will the Arizona Cardinals be sellers? And maybe the more important question for us to try to answer today, should they be sellers? And to me, what makes that question so interesting is looking at this roster and seeing what do they have to move. Now, producer Evan shared a story with me. Was it yesterday in the morning meeting? Was it Monday in the morning meeting? I know it came up in a morning meeting at some point this week. A story over on azcentral.com from Theo Mackey, who covers the Cardinals for them over there, talking about some of the players that could be moved for Arizona if they chose to entertain the idea of selling at the deadline. And Jalen Thompson's name was on there among a couple of players. And my overall takeaway from reading the story and seeing some of the names, I saw an ESPN story today list Zaven Collins as somebody that the Cardinals could move if they chose to be sellers at the deadline. And you know what I keep coming back to when I see all these stories and I hear all these names? Is it really worth it to be a seller? Are you really going to get a slam dunk, can't miss, I can't say no, blockbuster type offer for any of these players? Do you have and I know they've said today through different reporting that it's not happening. They don't have a Myles Garrett, a Max Crosby. They don't have a player of that caliber available in the trade market that could fetch maybe a first-round pick or a highly sought-after round 2, day 2 selection that makes you stop and really consider it. Am I really interested in acquiring a day 3 pick for somebody like a Jalen Thompson? Am I interested in maybe getting a day 2 pick, maybe for a player like Zaven Collins? Am I really interested in going through the hassle of doing these pick swap deals that we see teams do these days? Is that really what the Arizona Cardinals should be focusing on right now? Because yes, at 2-5, they are a team that should be selling. They are a team that has missed expectations. They are a team that has been a disappointment that normally leads with you selling and trying to recoup assets so that you can fix this next year. But I wonder if there's an argument to be made to just seeing this thing through. Try to catch lightning in a bottle here in the second half of the season. And more importantly, I think in the case of the coach and the GM, try to save your jobs through the results. If there was a deal out there that was just, you got to do it. You can't, at 2-5, you can't turn down a first-round pick for whoever a team might be calling about, or a day 2 pick, a round 2 selection for somebody. If somebody calls you up and makes you that type of offer, okay, that's different. But gaining additional capital on the fringes, gaining some more day 3 capital, does that help Jonathan Gannon save his job right now? Does that help Monty save his job right now? Is Michael Bidwell at the end of the season going to look at this failure, look at this disappointment, and say, man, you know what? You picked up all those day 3 picks at the trade deadline. You know what? I'm going to give you a year 4. You're going to keep the keys to the car for another season. You're going to get to have a seat at the table. You're going to get to make the decision as to who the next franchise quarterback. Adding day 3 picks, and this is what we've said at the time, it's counter to what the coach and the GM need to do in order to stick around here in year 4. They need results. They need wins if they're going to run it back for a 4th season. So trading players that, in the case of Gannon and Monty in this moment, are more valuable for you playing than they are in the draft capital that they are going to bring back, I don't think they're seriously entertaining. Now, listen, it's a long-standing principle here on this program. You always answer the phone. You always answer if somebody calls. You always listen to an offer. You always fairly evaluate that offer. You don't immediately dismiss something. You don't immediately throw it in the trash can. You evaluate it and you say, does this make our football team better now and in the future? Is this the right move for this organization right now at this moment in time? Now, there's a problem with that because, as we mentioned, the incentives of the coach and the GM are to save their jobs. And these players being on this team is better for that. And I would have a harder time with them not being sellers if there was a big blockbuster out there. If there was a first-round pick that you could get for dangling somebody who's going to be a free agent at the end of the season, right? I think, Producer Evan, you can check me on this. Calais Campbell was the name that was invoked in that Theo Mackey piece over on AZ Central. You're not getting a first-round pick for Calais Campbell.
No.
You're not getting, I think, a day 2 pick for Calais Campbell. And so to me, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth a 4th or a 5th-round pick to send Calais Campbell out the door, to do a disservice to Calais, to do a disservice to the fan base, to only get back a day 3 pick, to basically send the signal to everybody? This season has been a miss. It is a failure already here in week 8, week 9 of the regular season. Is it really worth all that to say, hey, we got a 5th-round pick? It's not. And so that's why part of me wants to be frustrated at the idea that they're not going to sell at the deadline. Part of me wants to be frustrated that they're not going to read the writing on the wall and say, you're 2-5, it's time to recoup assets. But then the logical side of my brain kicks in and says, really, what are they going to gain from being a seller? Really, what is the outcome that helps the Arizona Cardinals by being a seller and trading a Calais Campbell, trading a Zaven Collins, trading a Jalen Thompson? Pick anybody that's on the fringes of this roster, that's a free agent at the end of the year, that this team could move on from and get some type of capital back. What are they actually getting? I think in the coach and the GM's case, they're making their situation worse, making it more likely that they're not here next year. And the signal that you're sending to your fan base at 2-5, 7 weeks into the season, 8 weeks into the season, is to say, you know what, pack it in, go home, don't care. And that's not a message that you want to send. So is it likely that this team catches lightning in the bottle in the second half of the season? Is it likely that they go on a run like 8-2 that we think they're going to need to if they're going to make the postseason in the NFC? No, I don't think it is likely. But I do think you see it through at this point. And then at the end of the year, you evaluate whether or not you want to bring everybody back, whether or not you just want to lay this at the feet of Kyler Murray and that be the only major change. Because when you have seasons that are going this poorly with these types of expectations, somebody has to pay the price. And sometimes it's multiple somebodies that pay the price for a failure of this magnitude. This team is 2-5 at their bye week. When we thought there was a world they could be 6-1 coming out of this bye week going into that Monday game against Dallas. So when you fail to this magnitude, multiple people sometimes pay the price.
There was a serious conversation before the season that if they aren't 4-3 at the bye week, this is a failure.
They're 2 games worse than that mark.
They're
inside the top 10.
That was a real conversation. And now we're talking about a 2-5 football team that once again is going to be looking for not only a quarterback, but looking at the top of the draft board saying, all right, we need another guy we can build around.
It is going to be really interesting to see how these final 10 games play out. It's going to be really interesting to see how Jonathan Gannon manages these next 10 games and how Monty manages these next 10 games. And part of that managing process is what they do at the trade deadline. And I would actually kind of be encouraged if they got like semi-aggressive and made a move that was for the short and the long term. ESPN had a great story previewing the trade deadline for all 32 teams in the NFL. And they, suggested that if they chose to be buyers and chose to add somebody, and producer Evan, cover your ears, they suggested somebody like Adonai Mitchell from the Indianapolis Colts to add to this wide receiver room. And the reason why they campaign for that to be the move is not because he helps the team right now, but he's somebody that's under team control. He's somebody that's going to be here for the next couple of seasons. So it's not just a quick fix for this year. It's balancing both the short and the long term and making a move that sets yourself up well for next year. And I'll be honest, I kind of would rather see that than to see them sell. I would rather see them be semi-aggressive and start laying some of the foundation for next year, start working towards 2026. That would be kind of nice to see. I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to stand relatively pat here. One, I don't think there's anybody out there that they're just going to go over the moon about. And I don't think they're going to get an offer that's can't miss, blockbuster, can't say no for any of the potential players that they're going to move. So I think it's going to be a quiet next couple of weeks. And overall, I think that's okay. I think the focus needs to be on what can you do in these final 10 games? Can you show me something? 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to hang out with us here today on the program. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. You can chat away over there as well. When we come back, 17. It's a very important number for one Sun so far this season. I'll explain next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
And LSU said, yeah, we've had enough. They've had enough of the experience of Brian Kelly losing 3 out of the last 4, and 2 of which he lost to his coordinator. They were ex-coordinators of him. And the last 3 coaches they've had, they've all won national championship within 4 years. Coach O did it. Les Miles did it. Nick Saban did it. Brian Kelly did not. You out. Now the question is, who do they bring in?
Back Coach O.
Can't wait to see who that's going to be. No, I think he burned in bridges.
Every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
This is the sound of Jack buzz cutting his way to a small fortune. To Jack, every time he cuts his own hair, that's $50 right in his pocket. If Jack sees DIY buzz cuts as a saving strategy, Wells Fargo is right behind him. And with their mobile app, tracking his savings is easy. However you make money work, we can work with that.
Mobile carriers' message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting The Ghost of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. November 30th, 2 shows, 3 and 7:30 p.m. PHX Arena. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, presented by 100.7 KSLX.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger, in my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus, branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month, and I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner at A1 Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. Call A1 Garage Door Service, and you'll be smiling today.
A1Garage.com, A1 from day one.
Jim Rome here through Rome Report. I watched every single pitch of that epic 19-inning Game 3 of the World Series Monday night. But as I sit here right now, I'm exhausted. I feel like I played that game myself. I never even got off the couch. But what about the guys that did? What about Shohei Ohtani, who reached base 9 times, and refused to come out of that game even when his legs started to cramp late, and knowing that he's going to have to take the ball tonight in Game 4. And he won't have a completely gassed bullpen to bail him out. But at least he and the Dodgers won. Imagine expending all that energy only to lose that game and then have to hit the bump. I hit the X last night with this post long before the game was over. Quote, no words left to describe Ohtani. I have never seen another athlete like him in my life. And I stand by that. Not only the GOAT, but also the most humble GOAT of GOATs. But just because he's also the GOAT of humility does not mean he's not an assassin, because he is both, and he'll prove it tonight in Game 4. I'm Jim Rome.
O'Reilly. Get up to a $15 O'Reilly gift card after rebate with the purchase of select pairs of wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people can help you find the right wiper blades for your vehicle, and we'll install them for free. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Where do we stand on a potential Ketel Marte trade this offseason? That coming up in about 12 minutes from now. The Suns back in action tonight. They take on the Memphis Grizzlies. We'll talk a little bit about who is available for the Phoenix Suns and somebody that might be able to return tonight for the Phoenix Suns a little bit later on in the show. But 17 is the number that I teased going into the last break. 17. Do you know the significance of 17, producer Evan? 17.
Is that a number of minutes?
It
possibly?
is. Happens to be the exact number of minutes that we have seen from the number 10 overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft, Khaman Maluach. 17 minutes he has played through the first 4 games of the season. I saw a great story yesterday after the show. Was kind of looking around, starting to get my brain in the mindset for the next day's show. And I saw John Voida over at Bright Side of the Sun, a great site that covers the Suns for SB Nation, write a story entitled, Why Are the Suns Slow Cooking Khaman Maluach? It's a great read. Highly recommend you go over there and support John's work and read the story. And I can already hear through my headphones, through the radio dial, the frustration from all of those of you out there that were against what the Suns did on draft night. Already had Oso Ighodaro and Nick Richards on the roster. And then on draft night, You drafted Khaman Maluach and you traded for Mark Williams. And all I heard in the wake of that draft night was, what are the Suns doing? They've now got 4 centers on the roster. How are they going to play all these guys? Brian Gregory doesn't know what he's doing, already showing that he's a bad hire as a GM. This is why you don't hire people just because of your personal connections with them and because they went to the same school as you. We heard it. And those people are watching Khaman Maluach, who was a top 10 selection, only play 17 minutes in the first 4 games, and they feel extremely vindicated right now. Well, to quote Lee Corso, not so fast, my friends, because you are showing your lack of understanding in player development and progression. A quick reminder, Khaman Maluach is 19 years old. This is a young player who is learning how to play NBA basketball. He is learning how to play pro basketball. There is a steep learning curve. There is a maturity curve. There is all of a sudden, you are a big fish in a small pond in college, to you are a small fish in a big pond in the NBA, and it takes some time to grow, to mature, to learn the ins and outs on how to be a pro. And so the Phoenix Suns, because of the depth that they've built up in the center department, are realizing we don't have to rush this. We can take this as slow as we would like. And as John pointed out in his piece, if this is March, if this is the second half of the season, yeah, below your top that he's playing 17 minutes in a 4-game span. This is October. Tonight is game number 5 of the season. Allow the Suns, allow Brian Gregory, allow Jordan Lawlar the opportunity to show what their plan is, because they clearly have a plan. Don't put on Brian Gregory and Jordan Lawlar what other coaches, other GMs, other regimes here have gotten wrong. It is way too early to tell if this is a bad decision to only play him 17 minutes in the first 4 games, to really limit his workload. And I also think this is an exercise for all of us. It is an exercise in understanding and learning what this season is actually about. You all want to see him out there playing 17 minutes every single night. You want to see him be thrown to the wolves and sink or swim, and you want the quick, instant microwave dinner that's done in 60 seconds. And the Phoenix Suns are telling you, no, that's not the meal you want. We're going to slow cook a meal over the next 4 to 6 hours. And it's going to taste a lot better than the 1-minute microwaved version. And I get it, because I'm seeing it over on the YouTube side. You can look at other cities and other teams and other rookies that are hitting the ground running. Yes, they are. Different teams, different players, different systems, different organizations, different philosophies. No 2 rookies and no 2 situations are alike. And for you to compare the lack of minutes that Maluach is getting to the abundance of minutes and opportunity and the way other rookies are looking early on in the season, making that comparison is not giving Jordan Lawlar and Brian Gregory the runway to do what they said they were going to do. You are judging them way too early. We don't know what their plan is. We're kind of piecing it together based on what we are seeing. The Sixers, because that's the team that was invoked, may have a different plan than the Suns do. And that's okay. That doesn't mean the Sixers are right and the Suns are wrong. It doesn't mean the Suns are right and the Sixers are wrong. Every team is going to get to this answer differently. All I need to know is if the Suns are doing right by Khaman Maluach. And my answer today is I don't have enough data to say if what they are doing is the wrong thing. So guess what? I am going to give them the time, the space, the opportunity to slowly develop this player over the course of the season. Because guess what, everybody? That's what this year was about. This year is about developing players like Colin Gillespie. developing players like Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro, finding a role and keeping Mark Williams healthy, figuring out what you have in Rasheer Fleming, figuring out what you have in Khaman Maluach, Colby Brea, all of these young players that you brought in. And guess what? It's not going to be answered 4 games into the season. So this is, to me, Producer Evan, an example of you've been burned in the past by so many other people. You've been burned in the past by so many other situations, not just with the Suns, but with other teams in town and other GMs and other rookie players and their development, that you are lumping all of that onto Jordan Knott, onto Brian Gregory, without actually giving them a chance to show you what they're doing here.
This is 4 games in to an 82-game season. I just want to paint a picture. That is a 20th of the way through the season, right? Like that's the conversation we're having. And this is a team who we knew was going to focus on player development, and we knew that by the hire. You have to remember where Jordan Knott's background is, what he's worked in before. Player development is what he does. I have a trust in one thing with Jordan Knott. Over anything, I believe he's going to get the best out of the young players and knows what these guys need the most. So if there's a slow burn with Khaman Maluach, I tend to agree with Jordan Knott because I've seen him do it before, right? This is where his track record lies.
And it's also just a case of it's going to take time. Everything about this retool is going to take time. To me, the people that are frustrated, and listen, I want to see him out there playing every single night. I'm frustrated by it, but I'm also able to take the step back and look at it and say, okay, why is this happening? Why is this the path that they're choosing? What do they know that we don't? Maybe they don't think he's ready to play 17 minutes a night. Maybe they don't think he's ready to take on a serious role, and so they don't want to throw him to the wolves and completely destroy him. Wouldn't that be a fair thing to do? Wouldn't that actually be a good thing to see from your GM and your head coach? How often in sports do you see a player get drafted and they don't get the runway to figure it out? They are thrown to the wolves immediately. The Suns are actually going against the grain. It's what a lot of people want to see in the NFL when you draft a quarterback, sit him for a year. The Suns are kind of doing that, and they're going to pick and choose their spots. They're going to find chances. And yes, if we get to March, if we get to April, if we get to the second half of the season and we're still having this conversation about the lack of minutes and opportunity, then you can question the plan. You can question the selection. You can question, did they get this right? But 4 games into the season, please, fans, listeners of this program, understand what this season is and what this season isn't. Understand this is a grind. You are signing up to watch 82 games of this team figure it out. Now, I'm excited by that. I'm encouraged by that. Looking forward to tonight's game against Memphis. But understand the byproduct of that is that they are going to slow burn a lot of this. And that's okay. It is okay that he's only played 17 minutes in the first 4 games. It's October. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to hang out with us here today on the show. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, it's kind of gotten quiet on this front. Is a Ketel Marte trade off the table? That's next. The lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. I know finding a dream engagement ring can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we got you. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond at Shane Company is truly the best of the best. Our team travels the world to see diamonds up close, in person. We handpick each one for its unique fire, brilliance, and scintillation. Diamond buying is an art. Of course, we look at cut, color, clarity, and carat, known as the 4 C's, but that's not all. We also look at how each diamond looks on a hand, where it will be worn, how it makes you feel, and if it's worthy of a Shane Company customer. That type of expertise only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. We also think about your budget. We only pick the best in each grade in all shapes and sizes. Your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
9 Inch Nails. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Friday, March 6th. Get tickets now at NIN.com. 9 Inch Nails. Live in Glendale. Peel It Back Tour 2026.
Hey, it's Phil Shaver with HomeSmart, and I want to buy your house. I'm a local investor that buys homes for cash all over Maricopa and Pinell County. I buy inherited homes, nice homes, rental homes, homes that are behind on mortgage payments, and I even buy ugly homes that need fixing. Also, are you looking to get closer to market value for your house? As a licensed realtor, I've been able to buy and sell thousands of homes. Since I'm local, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 480-409-9999. Again, that's 480-409-9999. I don't work for a big corporation or hedge fund, so I can only buy 3 to 5 homes per month. There are no fees involved, and you can pick your own close date. The best part is I buy homes as is, so you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. Again, you can call me directly at 480-409-9999, or you can go to my website, gosoldaz.com. That's gosoldaz.com.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
¡Listos todos! Estas son las mañanitas.
Now we just need to harmonize.
Switch today. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with Galaxy AI. Plus, get 4 lines for just $25 per line. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. 1-800-T-Mobile. For well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Minimum 4 lines on plan. Contact us if canceling lines. Plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Shohei Ohtani had 2 home runs, 2 doubles. They also walked him 5 times, 4 intentionally. They've gotten to the point where he's getting Bonds treatment. I want you to pitch in shame. If you're going to intentionally walk him, I want you to throw the 4 pitches that look silly because you don't want to face him. I don't want it to be, hey, we're going to walk him and I point him to first base. Nope. I want you to acknowledge that you can't get him out and you throw those 4 pitches.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and the KTUS 1060 app.
We got buy or sell coming up 10 minutes or so from now. Close up hour number 1 of the program. We'll see what producer Evan has in store for us then. But right now, yesterday we talked about Jim Bowden's former general manager in Major League Baseball, now does some column writing for The Athletic. He started his offseason preview series yesterday, or at least we talked about it yesterday, his top 50 free agents, and we outlined the players that were linked to the Arizona Diamondbacks and how that kind of is a first glimpse as to what this offseason is going to look like. And I don't know about you, producer Evan, but I'm really excited for this World Series to be over and the offseason to begin, because I think there's a lot of work that the Diamondbacks are going to have to do, a lot of questions that they need to answer, a lot of holes that they need to fill. And so I just think maybe they're not going to spend a ton of money, but I feel like they're going to be active, and we're going to hear their name be linked to a lot of different trade avenues, maybe some lower-end free agent guys. It just feels like it's going to be a very busy offseason, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it certainly feels like with the budget they have, they're going to be looking to make deals.
Creative.
Right? And the budget we've outlined for them, they're going to have to be creative. So I'm interested to see how this offseason is going to go for them, what avenues they'll take, who are they going to sign in free agency, how are they going to allocate that money. Obviously, we've tried to break that down a little too, but it's going to have to be a very interesting offseason for the Diamondbacks, who are going to be on a lesser budget, but have to fill a lot of holes on this team.
Yeah, I still think in their mind they can put a competitive product on the field in 2026. And I've been a long-standing member of the 2026 Still Matters Club for the Arizona Diamondbacks, that I do think there is potential in that season. And that's what makes this offseason so tricky and so interesting. And I really think we're going to see a lot of Mike Hazen's GM chops this offseason. And so as part of his offseason preview, Jim Bowden also put out a piece outlining potential trade candidates across baseball, the most likely to be moved here in the offseason. And I clicked on the list, and you see players like Hunter Green's name out there, Sandy Alcantara in Miami's name's out there. And you know whose name I didn't see on the list, even though I clicked on the story? I expected to see his name on the list. Ketel Marte's name, nowhere to be seen other than there was another player who, I forget exactly the context, and I could pull up the story. There was a statistic that was being shared about that player, and Ketel Marte was one of the other players who had been a part of that statistic in some way. That's the only mention of Ketel Marte in the story, so that got me wondering. Is the Ketel Marte trade off the table now? Have we removed ourselves? Has enough time passed from what happened in season that made us all think his future very undecided here in Arizona? Because it feels like since that moment, since his apology, with the way the team played down the stretch, finding themselves in September in a wild card race, it's kind of gone away. You're not seeing a ton of stories be written about Ketel Marte's future. You're not seeing a ton of stories link other teams to Ketel Marte. You don't see his name come up in stories like the one yesterday about guys that could be moved in the offseason. Most likely to be moved was, I believe, the way the story was written. So is that over? Is a Ketel Marte trade dead? Is it off the table? Or do we need to remain on our toes? Now, I think there are going to be teams that call in the winter. And the reason why I say that is because unlike, I think, any other sport, football doesn't have this. Basketball maybe is closest to baseball. But in baseball, in the offseason, teams talk about everybody. Conversations happen all the time. And most of the time, we find out about those conversations when, like, a year or two down the road, a trade happens and somebody goes, oh, yeah, they were first talking about that in, like, the winter 3 years ago. And they circled back and they were able to get a deal done all that time later. Teams are always talking because everybody thinks they're a contender in the offseason. Everybody's a buyer in the wintertime.
I was going to say that. Why? And we talked about this when the deadline approached. If you're the Pirates, why am I trading Skeens at the deadline if 29 teams are going to be buyers in the offseason?
I've got 29 potential suitors, 29 potential trade packages that could be my way in the offseason in the wintertime because everybody can convince themselves that they're a good team in the winter. So they are going to get phone calls. But it does feel like, at least to me, that with things quieting down, cooler heads prevailing, time passing, right? It feels like it's not as tension-packed as it was during the season. It doesn't feel like it is the rest of the locker room and clubhouse against Ketel Marte. It doesn't feel like Torrey has lost the room. And the reason why I feel that way is we saw the way the rest of the season played out. So do I think we'll see a story this offseason where if somebody calls about Ketel Marte and his name's out there in trade rumors? I do. Do I think it is likely that the Diamondbacks go down a path of trading him? I don't. Now, if they do ultimately trade Ketel Marte, that tells me that Mike Hazen and company, not a part of the 2026 Still Matters Club. And I'll have to hand in my membership card because I don't know if the group will meet anymore. I don't think we'll be holding meetings at that point because I think the dream will be dead.
That would put the nail in the coffin.
I think the membership would be closed. We would give everybody back their dues. The meetings would be done. We won't be meeting every Tuesday anymore. I just don't think that's going to happen. And so that's why the membership is still open. And anybody who wants to join, feel free. 480-864-1060. You can join the membership club of 2026 Still Matters for the Arizona Diamondbacks. But to me, that feels like the pivot point. If we go through the entire winter and the Ketel Marte stuff doesn't really bubble to the surface, okay, there's a story here, there's a story there. It doesn't really bubble to the top of the baseball world. And that tells me that Mike Hazen and company know that they can fix this in one offseason or at least get a Band-Aid on it and make 2026 relevant. Whereas if it does bubble to the surface that's where I'm going to start to think maybe they don't believe in 2026 as much as I do. Maybe they don't believe in this team turning it around and being competitive next year. So Ketel Marte is kind of a centerpiece to this offseason in many ways. My guess right now, he doesn't get moved. That contract is too good. He's too important of a player. He's one of the 3 best players in the sport. A core of him, Corbin Carroll, and Geraldo Perdomo sets the floor for your team just way higher than a lot of other teams in baseball.
And what does a package look like, right? Like that's a big, what does a return package look like? What are you willing to accept? I mean, you're going to need a top prospect in baseball.
Yeah, are you going to get anywhere close to the value for a player of this caliber with that type of contract?
I just don't think so.
I think it's going to be really hard.
Like even on the upper, even if best case scenario on what these prospects become, I mean, how many of them are going to be Ketel?
Well, and here's the problem, right? Because if you do that and you get a package that's full of top prospects in the sport, now you got to wait. Now it's not only 2026, but I may be kicking 2027 down the road as well.
Certainly feels like it.
And I just don't think there's an appetite for that.
I don't either.
And I don't think in the way Mike Hazen, in the way Ken Kendrick have talked since the season ended, I don't think there's an appetite to punt on 2026.
If there was an appetite to punt on 2026, I think you would have made the change at manager.
I agree.
Because then you get yourself the full reset. And if you're going to make a punt and have these young guys and bring these guys in, then I think you want a different voice.
Yeah. And so off the table, I won't completely take it off the table this offseason because I do think there will be a time where we talk about it here again on the show. But I found it interesting that somebody who is a former general manager, has connections, talked to people in the sport, put together this story of players that are most likely to be moved via a trade here in the offseason. Ketel Marte's name nowhere to be seen. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to hang out with us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream as well. When we come back, we wrap up hour number 1 here of the lunch break. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's a little buy or sell. The hottest takes in the sport, in the Valley. Producer Evan has them. I'm buying or selling them next. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
This is what I mean when I say that was a collapse for the ages. An all-time tank job. Not only did the Giants lead 19-0 going into the fourth quarter, they scored 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns, and they still lost. The Giants were 99.8% to win that game, according to ESPN. But according to the Broncos, the number was actually 0.0%.
Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
The Hondo Rodeo Fest is back November 7th through the 9th at Chase Field. 3 nights of World Championship Rodeo and 3 nights at the hottest country of rock, Kid Rock.
Sipping whiskey out the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow. Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long.
Jason Aldean.
Oh, come on, whiskey drink.
Nickelback.
Listen, son, you remind me of what I really am.
John Party.
Might have a little dirt on my boots, but I'm taking you uptown tonight.
Riley Green and Treaty Oak Revival. Don't wait, this is your last chance to be a part of the fun. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now at Ticketmaster.com. When the dirt settles, the stage explodes with music's biggest names, all in one arena. One weekend, one unforgettable experience. Time is running out. Buy your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com. For more information, visit thehondoRodeoFest.com. That's thehondoRodeoFest.com.
Ooh, Del Taco? Yep, they got these new boxes that are loaded with my faves.
Big boxes, come on, can I get a Del, yeah?
Del, yeah.
What was that? Oh, I bring these guys everywhere. Really enhances the experience.
Del Taco's El Big Boxes now come with bigger burritos. Try the $5 Classico, $7 Mex Faves, and $9 Amerimex box. More food, more flavor, more value. Only at Del Taco.
Del, yeah.
Price of participation may vary.
At Winco, we're working to save you money. Big savings on top quality meat, produce, seafood, and deli. Bakery fresh breads, cakes, and cookies made daily in store. Low prices on top quality national brands and thousands of our own private label. In every aisle, every department, every day.
9 stores in the Phoenix area, including the new Santan Valley location.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
Oklahoma City taking out everybody on their way to a championship. One of the youngest, I think they average 26 years old, Rich. As long as they have the Derek Jeter, Michael Jordan, Gene, or at least one person on that team, hopefully it's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. They have a chance. And listen, it's human nature to be the best and think, I'll be the best again. And then you fall short. I'm going to say Oklahoma City will not go back-to-back.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Welcome back into the lunch break. Chris Schubert with you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Producer Evan on the other side of the glass. Now, before we get into buy or sell, at the top of hour number 2, we're going to talk about something that Jordan Lawlar did last night that's very intriguing. But Producer Evan, I have some great news for you. Fantastic news for you.
Some great news.
Bryce Young, full participant at practice today for the Panthers.
That gets us in. Panthers are Super Bowl contenders. No.
AI. That's the AI version of buy or sell.
All right. Are you ready?
I am more than ready today.
Head coach Bobby Hurley will not only keep his job, but will lead the Sun Devils to a top 4 finish in the Big 12.
The Spidey senses are already going off here today on a Wednesday. That you've snuck in an ASU basketball thing when we haven't even spoken about ASU basketball.
Well, I figured their season starts next week.
All right. I'm not making a declaration one way or another.
Well, maybe I have an ASU women's basketball come in on Monday.
Yes.
Listen to their first game.
We are efforting to get Molly Miller on the program on Monday ahead of the season opener. So I'll keep everybody up to date on that. The Spidey senses about this being the Chat GPT buy or sell were so strong. I didn't actually listen to what you said after you said ASU basketball. So could I get it one more time, please?
Head coach Bobby Hurley will not only keep his job, but will lead the Sun Devils to a top 4 finish in the Big 12.
I'm going to sell the take only because that's a lot that has to go right. And it's fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me.
Yes.
Or as a former president once said, fool me, can't be fooled again. I will not be fooled by Arizona State basketball. So I am going to be the ultimate pessimist, the glass is half empty. And so you set the bar way too high for me in that regard. Sell.
The former Arizona Coyotes will make an unexpected run to the Stanley Cup.
The Spidey senses are just tingling today on a Wednesday. We're now talking about the Utah Mammoth.
The Utah Mammoth first in the West.
Man, I just don't know how creative you are. That if you this is really good. If this is real, if this is you today, this is a really good job by you to throw me completely off with these first two. Utah's playing really well. Yeah, they're like really good. What was the take?
That they will make an unexpected run at a Stanley Cup.
At a Stanley Cup, meaning they'll go on a run?
Yeah, you know.
I'll buy this. Playing really well to start the season.
Do you know win the cup?
Do you know that there's some weird statistic in hockey that when you get to American Thanksgiving, and the reason why I say that is because there's a whole bunch of
everybody makes the playoffs.
Canadian teams, that basically the way the playoffs look at American Thanksgiving is more often than not to some incredible degree how the actual playoffs line up.
It's 99% of the time. So I always think that for the Flyers, just got to get to Thanksgiving.
So if the Utah Mammoth find themselves in a playoff position come Thanksgiving next month, then yes, I think they can go on a run. I will buy this.
That's a really good take. The Arizona Cardinals' new headquarters will signal a new start for the franchise.
I am all in today. I'd like to push all the chips into the middle. And maybe for those of you who are joining us for the first time, I set producer Evan a challenge. This world of AI, this world of content generation, I said buy or sell. One day during the week, try to sneak in where the entire slate of buy or sell topics was generated by AI. And boy, does it feel like today is the day. What about the new headquarters? I'm so thrown off because of these topic choices that I'm not actually hearing what you're saying.
The Cardinals' new headquarters will be a sign of a new beginning for the franchise, a franchise reset.
Sell. Whoever the new quarterback is going to determine whether or not the franchise is in the right direction.
Sell. Mookie Betts has quietly become the best all-around player of the last generation.
Sell. I mean, it's his teammate who's the best all-around player because
Oh, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. Clearly, I wasn't thinking about
How
that.
does it not count?
Because he's a unicorn.
Right. All around. He does two things at an exceptionally high level.
Whatever.
Sell. It is Shohei Ohtani.
The NFL is headed for its own load management era. And can I tell you where the take in this lies?
Okay.
Have you seen there's a belief that Lamar Jackson sat out on Sunday, though he could have played against the Bears because they play Thursday night against the Dolphins.
So because they had the short week, they didn't want to get him in there and then coming off of the injury immediately play in a short week?
Yeah.
I mean, is it bad that I kind of understand that logic if that's what they decided to do?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, they're 1-5. I take that back. They were 1-5 going into Sunday's game. So
now they're 2-5.
I know, but are you really going to play those types of games where at 1-5 every single game matters?
I don't know.
So I don't know if I fully believe that theory. It's not a bad theory, and it wouldn't surprise. Now, if they were 5-1 going into that game on Sunday, I think I'm all in on this theory. Coming off of an injury, we've been able to do well in his absence. We play on Thursday the next week. Let's not chance it to play twice in 5 days. I could buy it if they were 5-1, but at 1-5, you need every single game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can say that that's exactly what they were doing. But I think
from a general standpoint,
yeah, do I think teams will think like this? Yeah, especially if they add an 18th game.
I was gonna say if they add an 18th game, then they will certainly go to this.
Somebody will do it.
The Chiefs will miss the AFC Championship for the first time in the Mahomes era.
Sell.
Wow.
I have been impressed the last 2 weeks with their offense. And that has felt like the biggest sore spot so far this season for them. And the last 2 weeks, they have done a much better job. We talked about it yesterday. Travis Kelce is a different tight end since the Taylor Swift album came out. Rashee Rice is back. Mahomes has looked better. They might be the best team in the AFC again. I will sell the take.
You'll sell that you don't think it could be the 7-1 Colts? I just want to be very clear. If the Colts win an Arrowhead in 2 weeks,
listen. What have I said? If they win that game and they're then 10-1, we're gonna change some things.
All right, I'll make a deal with you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sure.
If the Colts make it to the Super Bowl, I'm gonna buy an A.D. Mitchell jersey.
Wow. If the Colts make it to the Super Bowl, you will buy an Adonai Mitchell jersey.
Yes.
I love that. Put that on the board. Put that on the board behind me.
I'll buy an Adonai Mitchell Super Bowl jersey.
Is that it? Is that all the takes you have for today?
That is all it takes I have
all right,
for today.
so now I have to decide. I have to make a determination. And the first three were really just because it would be an AI thing to do to reference them as the old Arizona Coyotes, right? That would be a very Chat GPT thing to do. And then to talk about ASU basketball feels like, but then the last two made me wonder a little bit. I'm going to submit my guess that was the AI version of Virus.
It was.
Yeah, definitely felt like it.
It was. And I tried on the last two to try and spice it up a little.
But what was the prompt? What exactly did you say? I'm just curious. I'm not judging. I just want to know.
Yeah, so I did probably three different
to
ones.
see what you could get?
Yeah, so I did two that were Arizona sports specific.
Okay.
And I figured if I were to give you a Mercury one, it would actually just give it away that it was AI because I've never talked about the Mercury. So then I thought, well, I can't do that. So I continued to go through it, got like one I liked from each different one, and then went generic football, generic baseball.
I will say they weren't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it was obvious to kind of tell because of just the sport selection and the way it started. That's going to do it for hour number 1 in the books. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hour number 2 and Jordan Lawlar. Yes, we're talking about Jordan Lawlar next. Lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we could be connected here and there.
Let's watch a movie.
And we have Netflix included to enjoy our favorite shows and movies.
¿Qué tal esta? Bacanísima, pero ya la vi.
Now the hard part is getting them to agree on a movie.
Switch today and get the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus with Galaxy AI, all on the best network in the U.S. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. 1-800-T-Mobile. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025.
I got my first real six-string.
Brian Adams, Roll with the Punches Tour 2025. A night full of hits, live at PHX Arena, Saturday, November 15th, with special guest Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Fulton Homes celebrates Veterans Day by honoring the Pat Tillman Foundation and their nearly 1,000 Tillman Scholars. Now through Veterans Day, Fulton Homes and the Big Red Radio will honor a different Tillman Scholar and share their story. Fulton Homes is proud to support the Pat Tillman Foundation with a donation in honor of each weekly scholar. The Pat Tillman story is well known, and his principles and service are his true legacy. The Pat Tillman Foundation carries forward that legacy by giving service members, veterans, and military spouses who embody those principles the education, support, and leadership tools they need to reach their fullest potential. This Veterans Day, join Fulton Homes and 98 KUPD as we honor and salute the Pat Tillman Foundation and their Tillman Scholars. For more information on the Fulton Homes Veterans Day Honor Roll, go to 98kupd.com/honor roll and join the salute.
We believe everyone deserves access to fresh food. That's why the Kroger Company created the Zero Hunger, Zero Waste program to share fresh food with the people in our communities. Our program and foundations have donated 3 billion meals since 2017. That's nearly 10 meals for every person in the U.S. Together, we can do more for our neighbors. Just round up your purchase at checkout. Fries, fresh for everyone.
Does your student struggle in a traditional school setting? For nearly 25 years, Primavera Online has helped Arizona K-12 students thrive with an accredited tuition-free education from home. Learn more at chooseprimavera.com. That's chooseprimavera.com.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2, the Wednesday edition of the Lunch Break. Chris Schubert with you. Thanks for hanging out with us. We got a fun top 5 list. Top 5 Halloween movies. And I got to tell you, I could do 3 HM lists full of movies for this topic. I don't know.
Are you a horror movie guy?
I'm not, but I've just seen I've seen enough. Like, I'll spoil it. I'll give a little bit of a teaser here. Something that's on my HM list is Saw, the entire Saw series. Couldn't find a spot for it in my top 5.
It's a good HM.
I mean, it is a movie that spawned an entire genre of horror film. Like, it revolutionary in the space. Did make the list. Couldn't make it because I also tried to be all-encompassing. I have an animated film on my list. I have another kids-related movie on my list.
Yeah, I think you gotta.
I tried to have a well-rounded list, and so that left some really quality movies off the list.
Listen, I like that.
So that's coming up here in about a half an hour. I mentioned it before we went to break that Jordan Lawlar is the topic of conversation to open up hour number 2 of the program because Jordan Lawlar last night played in a Dominican Winter League game. And producer Evan, you know what he did? You know what Jordan Lawlar did last night? No, I'm not talking about his stat line. I actually don't care about his stat line in the game. He played 9 innings in center field last night.
So you're telling me it took the Dominican Winter League to put him in center field and not Torey Lovullo when the season was over?
I was going to say, let's put that aside for just a moment. Let's put to the side the idea that we couldn't do this at the big league level, even though we on this program asked for it over and over and over again, because find ways to get him on the field, to get him at bats, because it's a good thing that he's playing center field in what is a lower competitive environment, right? There's not the pressure of the big leagues. There's not the pressure of, let's face it, a Diamondbacks team that despite their final record, were in it until the very last stages of the regular season. That's a high pressure environment. And then add on top of it the struggles that he was having. Even I, somebody who wanted him to be out there in the outfield as a way to get him reps, understood that with the struggles that he was going through, the long offer, the last thing you needed to add on to his plate was for him to play a position that he was unfamiliar with. That wasn't going to help him break through and get through that rough patch to start his 2025 season. So even I can say, I understand why the second go around, we didn't see a lot of him in the outfield, even though I would have wanted it, even though I'm excited that he found himself in center field for 9 innings last night, because this is a great thing for the organization. So many different ways it's a great thing for the organization. Jordan Lawlar has to reestablish his value to the organization. And the team needs to know what they have in Jordan Lawlar, and his value increases if they have somebody who can not only play third base and shortstop, but can also add center field and maybe left field to his ledger. He becomes a more versatile, valuable, useful player to the 2026 and beyond version of the Diamondbacks. And I know maybe some of you out there don't want to hear this. Jordan Lawlar is very important to the Diamondbacks offseason. He is key to this offseason. Despite, truthfully, us not knowing what he is. We haven't seen enough. Played better after he got his first hit. Played better once he got that monkey off his back. Started to look like the player that he was down in Reno, that he's been throughout his minor league career. But it's still way too small of a sample size to know what you have and what you don't have. Despite that, he's still so important. Because I think this team, this organization is going to count on him in a big way. Whether he's the opening day third baseman, whether he gets one of the outfield spots, having somebody like Jordan Lawlar, who's a highly touted prospect in the sport of baseball, helps Mike Hazen do his job a little bit easier if he can count on Lawlar to be a contributor. I have long said the strength of this Diamondbacks team right now is on the hitting side of things. The weakness is in their pitching, specifically the starting pitching, and not just at the big league level, but all throughout the levels of their minor league system. They are lagging behind other teams in that regard. So in an offseason where you're going to watch a team have limited resources. Don't take my word for it. Take the word of Derek Hall. Take the word of Ken Kendrick, who have said that the payroll is not going to be able to sustain at the levels it's been at last year and the year before. It is going to have to come down. It's part of the reason why they made the trades they made at the trade deadline, to save some of that money that they could reinvest into the team this year. And they are still going to be aggressive and be competitive and make moves in the offseason. They're just not going to be able to give out contracts like they did to Corbin Burns last offseason. That type of move isn't going to happen. So when you have limited tools in the toolbox, you have to rely on the tools that are in the toolbox. And Jordan Lawlar is one of them. The hitting side of this organization is a strength that needs to be counted on so that Mike Hazen can go out there and use whatever dollars they do have on rebuilding this rotation, on adding a veteran closer type to this bullpen. We've mentioned Devin Williams as a possibility. We've mentioned him as somebody we would like to see the Diamondbacks covet. He could rebuild his value here. If Mike Hazen feels comfortable giving one of his roster spots offensively to Jordan Lawlar. If he has faith and trust in the hitting side of this organization, guys like Tommy Troy, guys like Ryan Waldenschmidt, those types of players and prospects that this team has in the system, if Mike Hazen can trust those guys to be contributors in 2026 and beyond, then it makes it easier for him to navigate a different type of offseason. It makes it easier for him to navigate a year in which he is limited in his resources, and everybody knows that. Being able to trust a player like a Jordan Lawlar, by extension, trusting a player like a Blaze Alexander, a player like a Tommy Troy, who I think is going to be a contributor in 2026, being able to trust those players to fill key roles. Let's face it, this team right now, we've made the list. First baseman. They need to figure out who's playing third. They have 2 outfield positions that I think are up for grabs in left and center. They need a DH. That's just on the offensive side. If you can fill all of those with internal options, and maybe you sign Paul Goldschmidt to be a part of a platoon over at first base, and that's not going to cost you a ton, that allows you to devote all of your resources on the place that needs it the most. The starting rotation of the Diamondbacks is where most of the work and attention needs to be paid this offseason. And so players like Jordan Lawlar being counted on, being reliable, being valuable to this organization helps them get through what is going to be a tricky offseason. So him playing in center field does a couple of things. One, it makes him more valuable to the 2026 team, and it makes him more valuable to Torey Lovullo. A player that can now play 3, maybe 4 positions is way more valuable to me. It helps me give guys days off. It helps me keep his bat in the lineup if he is hot because I have multiple ways to get him on the field. He just becomes a more valuable player when putting together a 26-man roster. The other and the flip side to this is he becomes more valuable to other organizations because they're watching a guy who can play center field. They're watching a guy who can play third base, watching a guy who can play short, watching a guy who can play left field, watching a guy who is still a highly touted prospect. And so if the Diamondbacks maybe don't want to count on Jordan Lawlar, somebody else might, and somebody else might give up a player that the Diamondbacks do feel can help them in 2026. I don't know if Jordan Lawlar's on the 2026 team. I sure hope he is. But him playing in center field in the Dominican Winter League and getting these valuable reps, playing all 9 innings in center field and establishing a different type of value is good for the Diamondbacks no matter what they choose this offseason.
We talked about it last year. I mean, there was a long stretch where if you wanted to move Jordan Lawlar, it didn't feel like you could get anything. And that conversation has started to shift back to, okay, he may have some good value here because of the way he finished last year, because now we've seen him, and if we continue to see him play center field, you offer yourself a young, versatile player who can play multiple different positions and is just looking for a team with an opening at third base, maybe in the outfield if he can do that. It offers just value to a player who at one point last year lost a lot of what value he brought to the table.
So there's a reestablishment of that value that he needs to undergo, whether he's on the team or he's not on the team. And with a team that's not going to have a lot of money to spend, right? They're just not. They're not going to spend the way that they've spent the last 2 seasons. You need players like Jordan Lawlar to provide value to you in one way or another. Either you are a solution to one of my issues because you're going to fill it, or you're a solution to one of my issues because I can trade you for the answer. That's why Jordan Lawlar is a key to this offseason for the Diamondbacks. I think he is going to be given every opportunity to play for this team. And I think it's more in the outfield than it is at third base. I think Blaze Alexander is going to be at third base. I think he's going to play. I think he's going to be on the opening day starting 9, the way he finished last year. I mean, how do you not give that guy an opening day roster spot? How do you not give that guy an opening day spot in the starting 9?
You have to.
You have to, right? So I think his best position is third. He's also shown an aptitude to go out there and play center. Unfortunately, one of the more notable plays he's had this season out in center also came with a devastating injury to Lourdes Gurriel. He made a diving catch out there, and Gurriel, trying to get out of the way, tore his ACL. But he's shown an ability to go out there and play. So he has versatility. He hit well in the second half of the season. You have to reward that. You have to reward performances like that.
You can't turn a blind eye to what was probably a top 3 stretch by any player on the Diamondbacks this year.
It was really good.
I mean, that's a serious conversation.
It was really good the second half, specifically the August that Blaze Alexander had. He was really good, and I think he has firmly got himself one of those starting 9 spots. And so because of that, it does put Jordan Lawlar in a bit of a crunch, but there's other opportunities like showing that you can play center field. So Blaze's defense can be at third. If Lawlar can play just average center field, he's going to be given that opportunity because of what they think of the bat.
And that is the biggest point.
And that's why it was such a good thing. I don't care. I think he picked up 1 hit in the game last night. I don't really care what he does hitting the ball. The willingness to go out there and do it, the actually going through and doing it and playing 9 innings and feeling good about yourself is also good. And to me, it is a key part of what the Diamondbacks need to do this offseason. He's a key part of this puzzle. And I have long thought he was going to be a part of the puzzle by being on the roster, but by playing center field, he does help himself establish some value to maybe be traded away. They're going to trade somebody this winter. Somebody's getting moved.
I've said this before. There's just no way.
Well, they can't do all of the things they need to do without trading somebody of value.
That's what I'm thinking too, right? Like they just can't go through with everything they need to do without trading somebody. Like this team has a lot of holes.
They have first base, third base, left field, center field, DH on the offensive side. I think they need at least 2 starters, and I think they need a closer. You can't free agent your way to all of that. Now, yes, some of those are going to be answered internally. Maybe they just turn to Pavin Smith again at first base. I wouldn't do that. I would look to, and maybe that's part of the platoon with Goldie, and you go Goldie and Pavin Smith, and you feel good about that, and they can maybe also swing in the DH, and maybe you just have a group of players that rotate between those 2 positions. But you see what I'm saying? Like, not a lot of free agent dollars and looking internally. They're not going to be able to spend money to spend their way to fix all these issues. Blaze Alexander is going to fill one of the 3 of third base, left field, center field. He's going to fill one of those triangle positions.
You'd have to imagine.
Jordan Lawlar might fill one of the other ones. And so then you start to understand, okay, now I need 1 outfielder, the 2 starters, and the reliever, and that's what I can spend my money on, or I can trade for one of those. A lot to do. So I think they're going to have a very, very busy offseason, despite them not having a ton of money to spend. They have a lot of things to address.
A lot of things to address.
And with the way the results went last night, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Now we have a guaranteed 6th game.
Back to Toronto.
Yeah, there is now the World Series will now start and finish outside of the United States. Started in Toronto, it will end in Toronto. It's first time, I believe, ever. I saw that stat yesterday. First time ever that it has started and ended outside of the United States.
What? That can't be real.
Okay.
Give me a second.
All right.
Give me a second.
What are you? I'll play along. What are you going to look up?
1993 World Series.
When they won?
Yeah. That was a walk-off home run. So
they were the road team, I believe.
Because that was game 6. When did they go to the?
All right. Listen, I'm giving you the space and floor to look this up.
Game 1, October 16th. Phillies lose 8-5 in Toronto at the Sky Dome.
Okay.
Game 6, Phillies lose 8-6 in Toronto at the Sky Dome.
So what year is that?
That's 1993.
So maybe the stat was the first time since 1993? Yeah. I thought it was the first time ever.
No.
Okay. Listen,
let's see if it happened in 92 too.
Well, the only other team you could look at is if Montreal ever made a run.
They didn't.
There's only 2 Canada teams.
No, in 1992, it ended and started in Atlanta.
Okay, well, thank you for correcting me.
Of course.
First time since 1993.
I was on that.
I appreciate you being on it. First time in my lifetime that a World Series has started and ended in Canada. It's 93. I was born in 94.
Wow.
So I was not alive for the 1993 World Series.
You remember the lockout vividly in 94?
I got to tell you,
you must have been pissed.
I tell stories about the 1994 lockout. Do me a favor, because this is going to be funny.
Yeah.
Look at when the lockout occurred. Because this bit's going to be worth it once you tell me the date. Because if my memory of 1994 and the lockout, like looking back on baseball history, is correct, this is going to be really funny.
August 12th, 1994 to April 2nd.
I was born August 25th. So 13 days into the lockout, I arrived in the world.
Yeah.
So vividly remember the early days of the lockout. Vividly remember. It's all Code says the stat is the season starting outside the country and the World Series ending outside the country. Oh! Code. Shout out to you for this is why I don't just remember things that I see and don't have them like handy to reference them, because I screw it up like that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Code. Thank you.
Well, that's our guy Code keeping us in check.
Thank you. Because that is correct. The season started in Japan for the Tokyo series with the Dodgers and
the Cubs.
And it's going to end in Canada with the Blue Jays and the Dodgers, somebody holding up the Commissioner's Trophy. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've got a top 5 list coming up here in about 20 minutes or so, talking about our top 5 Halloween movies. But when we come back, he's listed as questionable. Are we about to see a very important son make his son's debut? That's next. The lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
Another season of ASU women's basketball starts right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Lady Sun Devils Monday, November 3rd as they begin their 2025-26 season against Coppin State. With new head coach Molly Miller, ASU looks to reach new heights on the court. Join Jeff Munn on the call live this Monday night. Pregame starting at 6 p.m. and tip-off at 6:30. Right here on KDUS AM 1060, online at KDUS1060.com, and streamed on the KDUS 1060 app.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade 2026. Live at Chase Field, September 6th, 2026. With special guest, Jimmy Eat World. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit mychemicalromance.com.
Hello, everybody.
Gary, why are you wearing a...
Hold on, Ron. Every time Gary walks in here wearing some goofy costume, you always say, Gary, why are you wearing that?
Yeah, but...
And then it turns into some long-winded story about Alaskifications.
Yeah, but...
Then Gary says something ridiculous.
Yeah, but...
And you agree that an Alaskification before winter is the best way to prepare for cold weather.
Yeah, but...
And how Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns.
Yeah, but...
And all it does is encourage Gary to walk around wearing a stupid-looking ski mask that no person in his right mind would get caught dead wearing.
Yeah, but he's wearing my ski mask.
Keeping my head protected, just like the Alaskification protects your heater.
My ski mask isn't stupid looking.
Look who's wearing it. I choose to ignore that remark. Because you know another one is coming.
Take off that stupid ski mask.
See?
And that's why you should schedule your Alaskification today.
What did we accomplish here?
I'm not sure, but today is a good day to Alaskify. Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. After 4 Pro Bowls and a decade of steady play, Kirk Cousins built a reputation as one of the NFL's most reliable QBs. But in Atlanta, that resume has met a harsh new reality. After losing the starting job to Michael Penix Jr., Cousins was relegated to the role of mentor and backup. It's a transition he's handled with professionalism, but not without frustration. Reports this week suggest the veteran still wants another chance to start. On paper, that feels reasonable, His track record speaks for itself, but the fine print tells a different story. His recent showcase against a shaky Miami defense did little to boost his value. His cap hit, nearly $40 million, is almost impossible to maneuver this late in the season. He deserves credit for staying ready and taking the high road, but unless something unexpected changes, the quarterback's next opportunity may not come until next season. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. It's being called the Golden Bonanza Sweepstakes. Thanks to our friends at Mako, the DP Show, proud to be a part of this, giving listeners a chance to join us in San Francisco for Super Week. That's right, a trip for two, including round-trip coach airfare, 3 nights, hotel stay, ground transportation, and VIP access to see us do our show. If that's not enough, Mako also giving away 5 free paint jobs and 10 Mako and DP Show swag bags as runner-up prizes. It's really simple to enter. You go to danpatrick.com. The best news, you can enter daily for a chance to win. You can also receive a 25% off coupon to use at any Mako shop. Visit any Mako location now for a free estimate and redeem the coupon. Terms and conditions apply. Remember, go to danpatrick.com for official rules. No purchase necessary. Void in Alaska, Hawaii, and where prohibited. Open to contiguous U.S. D.C. residents 18 or over. Ends 11/23/25.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KTUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Very excited to make everybody mad with our top 5 Halloween movies list here coming up about 10 minutes or so from now. But the Suns take on the Memphis Grizzlies tonight. And producer Evan, do you know who is now listed as questionable for tonight's game for the Phoenix Suns? Do you know who is moving closer to a potential debut for the Suns? Could happen as early as tonight?
Could it be one of their projected leading scorers of the year?
Jalen Green listed as questionable for tonight's game. First time he's had that designation since the start of the season, dealing with that hamstring injury. He, 4 days ago, posted on his social media account a picture of him, I think, practicing or working out, saying almost there. And so it does feel like we could see Jalen Green as early as tonight. And I will tell you, I've kind of held off with my major judgments about this Suns team until I can see it all the way it's supposed to work. Like, it's supposed to be Jalen Green and Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks and Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro as the starting 5, right? We all agree that's supposed to be the starting 5 for this team right now at this part of the season. Of the four games, 0 times have we seen that starting 5 on the floor. Now, Dylan Brooks is also banged up. Don't know if he's going to play in this game tonight. And there's no guarantee that Jalen Green plays tonight. But I do think there is a proper level of excitement for Jalen Green to get into this starting lineup because the Suns are desperate for a second reliable scoring option. I think it's going to help them start faster. I think it's going to help them avoid these early deficits when there's somebody else that you know can score. And Jalen Green kind of does it a little differently. Jalen Green is kind of a attack the basket kind of guy. So Booker can knock down the shots. Green's going to be aggressive, go downhill, attack the basket. You're going to have different ways to get early buckets. And again, having that second reliable scoring option is going to help them avoid the slow starts. It's going to help them start fast, help them get out to those early leads. But more importantly, it's going to push everybody else down the food chain so that now you're not looking to Dylan Brooks or to Grayson Allen or to Ryan Dunn or to Oso to step up and be that secondary scoring option, or else the Suns lose the game. Just huge for the development of this team altogether. And I think exactly what the Suns have been trying to build since they made the trade of Kevin Durant in the summertime. They believe in Jalen Green as a player. They believe in him as a complementary piece to Devin Booker. They feel like those two guys on the floor together is going to lead to them both playing their best basketball and to the Suns team getting results. So yes, there's excitement. Yes, there's anticipation for Jalen Green to be out there, because I don't think we've seen truly what Brian Gregory and Jordan Lawlar have tried to put together with this team, because we haven't seen the starting five that this team tried to put together in the summertime.
No, not at all. This is going to be our first look at what this offense could be if Jalen Green plays tonight.
If he plays, it is still an if at this point.
It's still an if.
But him being questionable, this is the closest we've been this season for him playing.
Yeah, this is the first time we've had a real possibility of him playing. And this would be the step into seeing what this team is. You talked about holding your comments, holding your judgment about this Suns team until you can finally see what they are. It feels like maybe tonight we might get our first glimpse at what this team could be for the rest of the year. With a 1-3 start, 4 games in, I don't know if we have seen, actually, I do know we haven't seen what this team is going to be at its peak all year long.
Right. Jalen Green is a very important part of what the Suns are trying to do.
Huge.
Massive part of what Jordan Ott and this team are trying to accomplish this season. And so not having him through the first 4 games is, you're not looking at the real true version of the Phoenix Suns. And this is where, as the season progresses, as more games get added, and as players like Jalen Green come back and Dylan Brooks gets back and we see it, then I think it's fair to start criticizing. It's fair to start judging as the sample size grows, as these players are healthy and playing. Now the excuses start to fade. The built-in excuses start to go away. But right now, too early, 4 games, not playing with their full complement of players. Give it time. And part of the reasons why you give it time is for a player like Jalen Green, who is just so important to what they want to do. I think Jalen Green's presence, it's not going to completely eliminate, but it's going to severely help these slow starts.
It has to. It has to.
And if it doesn't, that's now
it's a real problem.
Right.
Now it's a real problem.
Because now it's like, okay, where's the early scoring going to come from?
But this is who was supposed to be your second scoring option all year long, right? Like the guy behind Devin Booker, you haven't had that. 4 games in, I know, but you haven't had that yet. So this is going to be a better looking Suns team with Jalen Green on the floor, unless they continue to start slow. But I'm not going to say this is going to be the fix to them starting slow. I think this is certainly going to help. Certainly going to help.
Yeah, and it's. I think it's huge to the development of everybody that this team is trying to develop in year one. Jalen Green coming back last night. So we'll keep an eye on if whether or not through the remainder of the show we get any news about Jalen Green's availability for tonight, but him being listed as questionable yesterday on the injury report, certainly a positive sign. Now, again, no guarantees that he plays tonight, but definitely moving in the right direction. So if not tonight against Utah or against Memphis, Friday at home against Utah, which, by the way, producer Evan, you know what starts on Friday?
Halloween?
The Emirates NBA Cup.
The NBA Cup.
That game against Utah on Friday is a bracket game, a cup game, a group stage game.
Is the Sunday game a group stage game as
well? No, their next game after that is a let me do this real quick. These games are in bold. Friday the 21st against Minnesota. You play four cup games. Friday against Utah, Friday the 21st against Minnesota in November, Wednesday the 26th in Sacramento, and then Friday the 28th at Oklahoma City. And those 4 games will determine whether or not they participate in the NBA Cup, the 9th through the 16th. I will tell you, can I be on record? I know this team's not going anywhere this season. I'd kind of like to see him play in the NBA Cup.
Yeah, so would I. I was just about to say that.
Mike, you're not going to win a championship. You're not going to probably make noise in the postseason. Can you make some noise early in the season and be in the NBA Cup? Would kind of be nice, right?
Yeah.
I know the NBA Cup doesn't really mean a whole lot, but that would be kind of a cool
Means
thing.
Nothing.
But for a team that needs all the reps they could get,
I was gonna say, but it would help. It would show the Suns team can win. Like, I'm not calling it a playoff game.
No,
but I'm calling it a game that you're playing for some extra money.
Yeah, it would. I hadn't really thought about it until we just brought it up. Kind of be nice. Friday's must win, man. Friday's a must win game.
I want to get this out of the way. we're all in on the NBA Cup this year for the Suns.
Friday's a must-win game now. That game against Utah at home, you got to get revenge for what happened on Monday. But more importantly, we got to start 1-0 in the NBA Cup. This is a big deal. So, you know what? Jalen Green, take your time. Just be ready for Friday, buddy. We need you out there on Friday.
I don't even want him to play tonight.
Yeah.
I want him 100% for the Cup.
I need you ready for the NBA Cup game on Friday against Utah. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to hang out with us here today on the program. And you're going to need that phone number if you're going to yell at us here, because coming up next, our top 5 list here on a Wednesday, our top 5 Halloween movies. We will get to them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
And LSU said, yeah, we've had enough. They've had enough of the experience of Brian Kelly losing 3 out of the last 4, and 2 of which he lost to his coordinator. They were ex-coordinators of him. And the last 3 coaches they've had, they've all won national championship within 4 years. Coach O did it. Les Miles did it. Nick Saban did it. Brian Kelly did not. Yeah, out. Now the question is who they bring in.
Bring back Coach O.
Can't wait to see who that's going to be. No, I think he burned in bridges.
Every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
Did you know that breast cancer accounts for almost 25% of all new cancer cases in women? The good news is that if it's caught early, before it's spread, the 5-year survival rate is 99%. So make sure you see a medical professional for regular mammograms. They allow medical professionals to identify any issues, even before you feel any symptoms. This message is brought to you by Valleywise Health. You're more to us.
This winter, step into a world of wonder at the Tianyu Lights Festival, open from October 24th through January 4th at Camelback Ranch, Glendale, and Phoenix. Explore the 4 new themes: Bugs Aglow, Colors of Holidays, Rainforest, and Prehistoric Animals, which feature 70 glowing handcrafted lanterns. Enjoy delicious foods and beverages at our food court, explore the interactive lanterns, and complete your visit with a trip to the marketplace where you'll find unique souvenirs. Don't miss this unforgettable holiday experience. Tickets are available now.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, heart-pounding excitement. Nitro Circus is back. The all-new off-the-rails tour. Gravity-defying thrill seekers and world-class daredevils at the top of their game. FMX, EMX, skate, scooter, and everything in between. Experience all new competitions that pit the best against the best in never-been-done showdowns. Nitro Circus. Friday, December 5th, Desert Diamond Arena. Join the action at Ticketmaster.com.
At Nationwide Vision, we help you step into every moment clearly and confidently. From quality eyewear and comfortable contact lenses to comprehensive exams and professional fittings, we make finding your focus a more enjoyable experience than ever. Right now, buy 1 pair of glasses and get the second one free, so you can live bolder, look sharper, and see better. Schedule an appointment today to find your focus.
Every day, reliable, comfortable, connected. Every day you rely on power. At APS, we work around the clock to deliver some of the most reliable power in the country. But with Arizona's extreme weather, outages can happen. Stay safe and informed with alerts by keeping your contact information up to date. And visit our outage center for updates online or on the APS app. For more ways to stay safe and informed, visit aps.com/brighter.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract, play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
All right, we are ready to make everybody angry here today on a Wednesday because it's time to do a list. Producer Evan, our top 5 Halloween movies. And I know for me, when I was putting this list together, and I want to say this out front. And by the way, do we have, is it spooky?
I just want to be very, great producer work here of what I've found. Taking all the credit.
I was just going to say, you're taking all the credit for finding this music when I'm the one that found it and built the loop for you in the middle of one of the breaks. I literally did it in like 3 minutes. Also, it doesn't need to be that loud. Could we maybe... I mean, this is great, but we could maybe not overload my ears with the Halloween music. It's very important that I say this out in the front. I am not looking to rank the top 5 scariest movies of all time. That is not what I am trying to do with my version of the list. I am trying to run the entire gambit of types of movies that you see around Halloween or that are themed around Halloween or have a Halloween tie-in. Okay? That's at least how I approach the list. I think you did the same.
I did.
Like, I'm not trying
Sorry, I just got a horrible alert that Cam Scadaboo's injury was worse than it looked.
Oh, that's not great news. So I didn't pick the 5 scariest movies of all time. It's not what I did.
No. Though, what is the scariest movie you've ever seen?
The scariest movie that I've ever seen. And I don't do a lot of scary movies.
I have 3 that I think.
I mean, I have one. It may be the scariest movie I've ever seen. May be the number 1 movie on my list. It might be.
Smile 2.
Oh, that's a scary movie.
Was the most horrifying film I've ever seen.
I can't. If I'm gonna watch a scary movie, it has to be in the comfort of my own home. Like, I can't go to a theater and be
totally with you
and be scared with other people. Like, that doesn't help me.
The original. Did you ever watch The Strangers?
The Strangers.
Yeah. And now there's like multiple.
So see, we're off to a bad start because the code says that there's going to be a unanimous number 1, and there's just not. Like, I know my number 1 is not your number 1, and I also know.
And I know what his. I think I know what his unanimous number 1 is.
My number 1 is not probably anybody else's number 1, but there's a personal tie to why my number 1 is number 1.
Yeah. Yep.
You want to do the HMs first?
Want to do HMs first?
I have 3 HMs.
So do I.
Okay. I have, and this may be the number 1. I have The Shining as an HM.
Okay.
I have Ghostbusters as an HM.
I have Ghostbusters as an HM.
And I have Scary Movie as an HM.
Oh, that's a good one.
And the reason why I put it as an HM is because, while yes, it's a comedy movie,
it's a Halloween movie.
It is a genre that has been born from scary movies, and it's taken on a life of its own.
100%. That counts. That's a good pick. I didn't even think of those.
All right.
I did my HMs. I did Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Coraline.
Didn't get that one on there.
And
I haven't seen that one.
Did you ever see Monster House?
I have not seen that either.
Yeah, that's more. I feel like it's more probably my age, but it's that was like a kids kind of horror movie animated.
Okay. My number 5. Again, making it very clear. I am not picking the 5 scariest movies of all time. I'm trying to get an eclectic list here. I have the animated film Coco at number 5.
God, that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
It is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. Like, we will put it on all throughout the year. I love that movie.
Yeah. My number 5 was The Shining.
You snuck it in there.
And I snuck it in at 5. I do think it deserves to be on this list.
I'm curious to what Code thinks the unanimous number 1 is.
I really am too. I imagine it's not on either of our lists.
No, because I probably haven't seen it.
I think in my head, I think I know what it is.
Do you want to say it?
Yeah, I think it's Halloween.
Yeah, and I've never seen it, and I also just wasn't going to put it on the list.
Yeah. You've never seen it?
No, I've never seen it.
It's not like a must watch.
Right, and that's why I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Number 4. I know this is on your list because we kind of talked about it in the pre-show. I have E.T. on my list.
Yeah, it's a Halloween movie. Yes. It's the same argument as Die Hard.
Correct.
If the holiday plays
a key role
in the plot of the movie, then guess what? It's that holiday's movie.
So I have E.T. at number 4.
I like that. I have it a little higher. My number 4, Hotel Transylvania.
Wow, that's the animated movie you got on there.
Yes.
Wow. You said that you had.
I technically have 2 animated movies.
You have 2 animated movies.
I do, yeah.
So we have 1 to come then.
We do have 1 to come.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think I've seen
Hotel Transylvania.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's fun. It's a fun movie. I have a vivid memory. I lived in this little backstory. My neighborhood was growing up was really good for trick or treating.
Okay.
So you had two sides of it. So I was on side one, then side two, and they were like both half circles. So it's one big circle. But on the other side, there was a house that would put up a projector and have seats out there and play some kind of Halloween movie.
That's great.
And it was always kind of animated. So they did Hotel Transylvania one year, and I remember late elementary school, maybe like sitting down watching some of that. Yeah, it's a good one. My girlfriend loves that movie. Yeah, it's a good one.
My number 3, a pioneer in the space. Other movies have attempted to copy a very important theme that this movie did better than I think any of the other ones. And that is the found footage motif. The Blair Witch Project for me at number 3.
Whoa, I didn't even think of it. That's a good one.
And the reason why I wanted to put it on the list is a subgenre inside of the scary movie, Halloween movie, the found footage thing that everybody is trying to copy. That's the OG to me.
Yeah, it's a really good one. That's a really good one. My number 2, or my number 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
E.T. was E.T. was a
Moved
little
one
bit
spot
higher.
Okay.
Yep. So, but it's a great movie, and it stands the test of time.
Number 2, a book that I read in, I believe it was high school, for a English class, and then we got to watch the movie from it. Stephen King's Carrie, number 2 for me on the list.
I don't know if I've seen Carrie.
So there are 2 versions. There's the 1976 version, which is the OG. That's the one that I saw when I was in school. They remade it in 2013. So if you saw it, it's probably the 2013 version.
Okay.
I didn't see the 2013 version. I saw the 1976 version.
Huh. Yeah, I've never seen it. Good?
Oh, it's fantastic. Do you like Stranger Things?
I do. I love Stranger Things.
Then you'd like Carrie.
I love Stranger Things, which, by the way,
Season 5's coming out.
Season 5 coming out. That falls in the realm of Halloween show.
But it's not a movie.
That's what I said.
Television.
Halloween show. Yeah.
But yes, I'm very much looking forward to that.
My number 2, the live action Scooby-Doo, and specifically the second one, Monsters Unleashed. Oh. It's a perfect movie.
All right.
What?
No, listen. I'm not mad at your list. It's your list. This is one of those, the beauty's in the eye of the beholder. No one's going to have the same 2 lists for this. We're just sharing our personal list.
You've never seen Monsters Unleashed from 2004?
I probably have. I don't remember it based on the title.
It's good. You should go home and watch it.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'll be honest, it's a little frightening.
I have, the Suns play tonight, so I'll probably be watching that instead. My number 1. And the reason why this is a scary movie is because I lived where this was, or within reason, within 25, 30 minutes of where this was. And I'm not talking about the OG version, although the OG version of this film is very good. I'm talking about the Ryan Reynolds version of this film, where you see Ryan Reynolds in a way that you have never seen him before. Amityville Horror, number 1 for me. Creepy. Because it was in my backyard. 30 minutes from where I lived is the house that is the subject.
Really?
Of the movie. I've driven past it. You drive past the house, you feel really weird when you drive past the house.
Do you actually?
It just feels different when you're in front of the house. So because of that, because of the connection that I have to the movie, and Ryan Reynolds is just excellent. Because the movie, he just descends into madness. Have you ever seen it?
No.
The house descends him into a state of just absolute madness, and it is incredible to see him in that role. So, Amityville Horror, number 1 for me.
My number 1, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin.
Oh my!
And I have this as number 1 on my list because
I think your list is going to get way more heat than my list is.
No, absolutely not. When it comes to Halloween, and a kid ends up at your door and walks away, when everybody in the room is like, "Oh, I got whatever." What does that kid always say back? "I got a rock." It's a perfect movie.
All right, so to recap, number 5 for me, Coco. Number 4, E.T. Number 3, The Blair Witch Project. Number 2, Carrie. And number 1, The Amityville Horror.
Yeah, you went horror movie centric. I did not.
My final 3 were, Carrie's not Carrie is a scary movie, but I don't put it in the same vein as Amityville Horror and the Blair Witch Project. By the way, didn't even consider Paranormal Activity at all. You can take those movies and just go away. You like those films? No, thank you. I'm good.
Number 5, The Shining. Number 4, Hotel Transylvania. Number 3, E.T. Number 2, Scooby-Doo Monsters Unleashed. Number 1, Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin.
You went very kid-friendly with your list. I love that.
Yeah, well, I was more centric around the holiday.
Yeah, that's fine. I mixed in some scary movies, and I mixed in some movies with Halloween. So there you have it, our top 5 Halloween movies here on the program. Great job producing the music for this, producer.
Thank you. Yeah, I put this all together.
480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, we will wrap up today's edition of the show. All the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program, we call it the leftovers. We'll do it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Nitro Circus is back with the all-new Off the Rails Tour. World-class daredevils and FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and more. Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, and never-been-done showdowns. Friday, December 5th, Desert Diamond Arena. Visit Ticketmaster.com.
To everyone counting down the days until pumpkin season, your wait is finally over.
The Salted Caramel Pumpkin Concrete Mixer and Pumpkin Spice Shake are back at Culver's for a limited time. And because nothing beats the real thing, every scoop of fresh frozen custard is made with farm-fresh dairy, and every bite is filled with real pumpkin puree. So come visit us at Culver's, or order ahead in the app or online, and fall in love with these pumpkin desserts all over again.
From Wisconsin with love. Welcome to Delicious. To everyone who believes in magic, let our team member Teppy tell you how we do it at Culver's.
We're not talking about card tricks or disappearing acts. Wow. This is the kind of magic that transforms real farm-fresh dairy into world-class Wisconsin cheese. We're talking about Midwest magic. Oh. It's about handcrafting every meal with love, because at Culver's, we want every bite to be turned into a smile. Order ahead in the app or online and come taste the magic for yourself.
From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
'Tis scratches season, and all through the state, the Arizona Lottery is giving people something to celebrate. Grab your friends and gather round for the chance to win $250,000 with Cash Countdown. Peppermint scented candy cane cash is available at any Arizona Lottery retailer in a flash. Gift these and 4 more games for any reason, because there are more than $80 million in prizes this season. This year and all, we wish you a happy holiday. From Arizona Lottery, love the play.
At Winco, we're working to save you money. Every aisle, every department, every day.
9 stores in the Phoenix area, including the new Santan Valley location.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Shohei Ohtani had 2 home runs, 2 doubles. They also walked him 5 times, 4 intentionally. They've gotten to the point where he's getting Bonds treatment. I want you to pitch in shame. If you're going to intentionally walk him, I want you to throw the 4 pitches that look silly because you don't want to face him. I don't want it to be, hey, we're going to walk him and I point him to first base. Nope. I want you to acknowledge that you can't get him out and you throw those 4 pitches.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and the KDUS 1060 app.
All right, Jim Rome takes over at the top of the hour. But before that, all the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. Our tour guide, producer Evan, takes us on a journey across the world of sports with all the things we didn't touch on. What do you have today? We got through a lot today.
We did. One thing we didn't touch on is Game 5 of the World Series tonight, which...
to quote, my friend sent this to me today, because there's always a tweet for everything. This tweet from owner of the Dodgers, Irving Magic Johnson. This tweet from 10:14 this morning.
Okay.
With the series being 2-2, Game 5 is very important. Whichever team wins takes control of the series. I mean, he has to be trolling at this point, right? Like, he has to be in on the bit now, where he just tweets things that everybody just knows already, right? Because if he's not now in on the bit, if he's now not laughing with himself, we've got a major problem. Somebody needs to sit him down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's game 5 of a 2-2 series. We all know the statistics.
Yeah, would you like the statistics?
I would love the statistics.
So when the series is tied, 66% of the time, the team that wins game 5 wins the series.
Yeah, it's pretty important tonight. It is Blake Snell on the mound. So in your mind, win for the Blue Jays.
Yeah. Well, Blake Snell, he got shelled last time. He got shelled.
Yeah, you think Blake Snell is the worst pitcher in all of baseball?
That is not true at all. Not true. I just think he's severely overrated.
Great win last night for the Blue Jays to bounce back exactly the way that they did. To not even play another close game. Just get after Ohtani early, win the game. It's pretty impressive last night.
Yeah. By the way, Eagles acquired versatile cornerback Michael Carter II from the Jets for John Mechie. Little trade in the NFL.
What is that trade? That's a weird one.
Yes. Yeah, very interesting. That happened just about 10 minutes ago.
That is a weird trade. All right. Michael Carter and a 7th round pick for John Mechie and a 6th round pick. And these picks are in 2027. I think teams just decide, all right, how can we do something so different that everyone's confused? We're trading 2027 picks now. Season's not even over yet.
I really like that move for the Eagles. They need another corner.
I like that move for the Jets.
Nice. I mean, that's what we're looking for.
I mean, Michael Carter is a player that was not paid by this regime. They weren't playing him a ton. So to move on from him and they get some financial benefit from it and they get a receiver, which they need. They need somebody in that room. Not to say that John Mechie is just going to light the world on fire, but he's better than what they have.
Yes.
Outside of Garrett Wilson, obviously.
Yes, obviously Garrett Wilson probably the best that they have.
Yeah, I love that trade for both teams.
I got to ask about the NFL trade deadline.
Okay.
So ESPN wrote an article today, the latest buzz trade deadline questions and news.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think happens with Trey Hendrickson is the absolute first bullet point on this list?
Well, can I very quickly, because we haven't touched on this really since the summertime, this is why you don't take the 1-year deal. This is why if you're going to hold out.
And I just don't understand why an $8 million pay raise was what got him.
I said it at the time. You're risking a lot here because if you get hurt, which is exactly what has happened, you now don't have the value that you did last summer. Just felt very weird to do all of that to get a modest raise.
It made no sense. Does Miami trade either of their edge rushers, Jalen Phillips or Bradley Chubb?
Chubb, probably, if they were going to move one. I still think they believe in Phillips, and he's a young player that I think you keep around.
I agree.
Chubb is a veteran who can help a win-now team, and so I think you explore those types of moves.
Jacoby Myers, another name that's been floated around. Obviously, he requested a trade in the summer.
I mean, there are plenty of teams that need wide receiver help.
They went out and signed Tyler Lockett, so they've tried to fill that role.
We have a good friend, you and I both, who is a Raiders fan. And I was talking to this person yesterday, and he was like, yeah, we need a lot of help. I said, no, everything's okay. You have Tyler Lockett. And there was, I think, at least 15 seconds worth of silence on the phone where I thought the call dropped. Like he just did not even want to continue the conversation after I made that comment.
He gets real upset.
He gets real upset when you bring up his team. It's the same friend, and you know exactly what I'm talking about because you've had the same types of conversations with him.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he bought into a little bit of my hype this offseason, which I feel bad about.
That's on you then. And you owe him
because
an apology.
I was telling him, Gino with Pete Carroll, like you guys have figured this out. They did not.
They did not.
They did not at all. My last thing here. I'm so tired about hearing how the Chiefs are the best team in the world. They still lost to the Jags after this tackle against the Giants.
No, they're not there yet, but the arrow is trending upward for the first time all season. Like, it is back trending in a direction to where you were worried about the Chiefs.
They don't worry me at all.
Okay.
I gotta be very clear.
Well, I mean, you can say that because your team beat them in the Super Bowl. So
And this year.
So you can say that. There are others out there that are still concerned about facing the Chiefs in a big spot, notably the Buffalo Bills.
I think the Bills win this week.
It's going to do it for us. Jim Rome's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you.
AM 1060 KDUS